Hello everyone, and now welcome to game number 2 taking place here on Last Refuge. We see Cechi spawning as the blue undead on the bottom left hand side of the map. Meanwhile, Hawk has spawned as the gray human on the top right hand side of the map. Undead versus human in this 1v1 matchup as Hawk takes a 1-0 lead in this best of series. Now, what's going to be going down as a Mountain King now coming out first as the primary hero for Hawk. Now, this is not your normal primary hero, and I am interested to see what this Mountain King can really look to do. Mountain King very, very strong. Getting to level 2 very quickly allows him to Stormbolt and fast and furiously taking down those ghouls. Followed up with either an Archmage or a Blood Mage and acting as mana battery or mana sources, and things get very, very crazy very quickly. Now, if the Death Knight is not careful, the Death Knight may try to wander around in here, and he decides not to go ahead and engage as a 4-unit surround, although very difficult is possible for a Mountain King who temporarily stuns his target. Now, what is happening next? You can see that the Death Knight now wandering back down across over here in just a moment. So far, nothing really happening there. You can see Militia now making its rounds as well as we're going into another longer economic game. The Mountain King wants a longer economic game. He wants to be able to sit on defense and allow that defense to give him a larger economy and therefore a larger army. The problem and the issue with that, though, is since you do tend to be defending a little bit more, your heroes are going to be slightly behind in level. That can end up becoming a problem. As you see, well, there goes a Murloc there. The Mountain King is currently sitting at level 2, does have Gauntlets of Ogre Strength +3 and Gloves of Haste. Back down over here to the bottom left is the Mountain King. Yes, he does get off a Stormbolt, and is he going to be able to run around this target? Wow, almost able to get in front of that Death Knight, but instead may just decide to back off here. Does not want to allow the Death Knight to finish off any unit with a very quick and easy death coil. Alright, Mountain King now looking to run back here. There's a couple units back over here. You can see that the skeletal minions are going to keep track of this. There goes one skeletal minion. Another skeletal minion could get taken down, and it will get taken down as a death coil does come in to snipe and get a little bit of experience off of that Forest Troll Trapper. That does mean that the Ogre Magi will fall at the hands of the Mountain King with no real problem or issue, and the heroes are so difficult to distinguish. Light gray and light blue on the mini-maps on those heroes. Those colors are, well, incredibly close to each other. Anyways, let's take a look at this Death Knight getting in the way of this Ogre Warrior. I gotta make sure that this Ogre Warrior falls at the hand of a Crypt Fiend or a Death Knight there. Picks up Gloves of Haste and should be able to finish off this Forest Troll Trapper creep camp without too much worry. You can see Skeletal Minions now making its way over here as well. A little bit of extra damage as the Mountain King wants to get to level 3 and should be able to get to level 3 without much of an issue. Alright, let's take a look off over here. Arcane Tower and Arcane Vault being constructed. Skeletal Minions are not going to be that effective in trying to put pressure on that base, and it looks like the Death Knight knows this and is just going to go around trying to get a very, very strong level advantage. Forest Troll Trapper now taken down. Death Knight wandering back out. Crypt Fiends. 3 Crypt Fiends. 1 Death Knight. Lich already being trained up. Slaughterhouse being added as well. And wow, the Obsidian statue might actually get stuck if it gets built anywhere along the backside here. Those ghouls will have to work overtime to clear out those trees. Back off to the north. Illusions tanking a lot of the damage right there. There is a bash right there. Perhaps some Militia do need to back off, and you can see that Illusion is taking a lot of damage from that Rock Golem. So far, nicely done by Hawk to make sure that he is getting as much out of his items as possible. Getting Devotion Aura, so triple Gloves of Haste. I do not know how fast that Mountain King is really attacking, but a very, very fast attacking Mountain King is always very dangerous because of that bash. All right, if it gets level 4 or level 2 bash there, that is going to be doing a lot of bonus damage. It is going to be stunning, and with that many Gloves of Haste, that could cause some serious issues, because all you're really trying to do is constantly proc that bash hit. All right, Mountain King wandering around. He's looking for the Death Knight, sees that this is open. Is he going to really go for it? That's the big question there. He sells the Gauntlets of Ogre Strength +3 and decides to keep the unit, to keep the triple gloves of haste. So I really want to see him how fast he does attack, just chain attacking a single target. All right, let's take a look at this. Mountain King wandering around. He does move around very, very quickly. Mountain King may be able to get off a Stormbolt onto some units there. No, units are deciding to back off. It looks as though Hawk is going to be taking a bit of damage, and that Mountain King unable to finish off the unit. Just turn around and attack. Footman, stand your ground and you will be fine. All right, guard towers. Guard tower currently under construction. It does get canceled. One does get taken down. There's a Stormbolt, a little bit of slow, and a 300 hit point heal. Mountain King attacking still very quickly, even though he was slowed by that frost armor. Interesting, as that Mountain King now looks to back off here. All right, more guard towers are going to be added. Are we going to get to tier 2? We are not even teching the tier 2 as of yet, as the Mountain King once more just finishing off target after target, and may try to put pressure back down over here on the bottom left. A lot of free and easy damage. Mountain King comes in with a Stormbolt. High damage onto that target. Crypt Fiend does get a Death Coil to save it, as you see more damage still being added. That Crypt Fiend does not really stand a chance. It gets taken out. Mountain King now coming in with the Stormbolt. Lich gonna get surrounded. Death Knight is in position to try and save it. There's one Death Coil. There's a Frost Armor, but the Mountain King gets into position to block it, and it is gonna be a surround again. All right, Stormbolt, but a little bit too late as the Health Stone was already used. Frost Armor being used again. Mountain King down to 209 hit points. Is it going to use a Scroll of Town Portal? He's now surrounded. So a reversal of the surround as the Forest Troll Shadow Priest, wow, disappears just in time. Mountain King could take a Stormbolt. No, he gets targeted by the long distance attack of the Lich and is no longer being healed. He needs to find a way to get healed back up. He needs a Forest Troll Shadow Priest, and he needs it in a hurry. Mountain King picking up perhaps a Potion of Healing. No, Clarity Potion, Scroll of Regeneration, and that is currently it, as we are now looking at a Goblin Zeppelin with a Goblin Shredder slowly flying back. Mountain King does have Ogre Mauler here, the additional gold allowing him to keep that mercenary camp well-fully employed, as we now see a tech to tier 2. Back down across over here. Footman finally taken out. Not quite sure which one that was, as we're looking at the Mountain King perhaps looking to make a bit of a play south. You can see that there is a Goblin Zeppelin in the air. The Goblin Shredder was dropped off earlier. Where is the Goblin Shredder? Off over here to the north, able to clear a forest very quickly, as the Lich is still sitting at level 1. Mountain King sitting at level 4. Very strong attacks. You can see Ogre Magi taking a lot of, damage, trying to wander around, as we see the item Scroll of the Beast and Orb of Corruption now sitting on that Lich. Death Knight getting in a lot of damage. Lich able to get that -5 armor debuff onto whatever target he wants, and allowing the Undead to focus fire with those Crypt Fiends and their very long range. Alright, however, Hawk now looking to drop on inside this base here. This is a very large walled out location, and I do not believe that Cechi is ready. Mountain King currently in play already. There's a Stormbolt, gets one unit already. There's a Scroll of Town Portal. There goes another Ziggurat. That Ziggurat was quickly canceled, as the units do need to head away. The Goblin Zeppelin leaving 2 men behind, as you see the Ogre Mauler going to get taken down alongside a Footman. All right. A slight disruption there. 2 Acolytes were taken out. That was a big loss. Meanwhile, what item was left behind here? It is a Scroll of the Beast. That's a very expensive item. That's actually 200 gold worth. And if the Mountain King spots it, I got to imagine that he's going to pick that up. That is a huge item just in terms of gold value there. Death Knight now heading back off to the north here. He is going to be able to clear out this Ogre Magi creep camp relatively quickly, finishing things off. There is a big Stormbolt onto the Forest Troll High Priest, preventing any healing at all. Meanwhile, back down across over here, not quite sure. Oh, we have a single Crypt Fiend. Is he stuck? He might be stuck back over here, as we now see the Ogre Lord now getting cleared out off to the north. All right, Claws of Attack plus 12. being given to the Death Knight, that Death Knight may decide to give it to the Lich, since the Lich is already attacking at a long range, and yes, it is given to that Lich. Mountain King leaves behind a Gloves of Haste, now has healing wards. Is the Blood Mage going to spot the Scroll of the Beast? Yes, he does spot the Scroll of the Beast. Blood Mage going to go ahead and pick that up. A very, very nice item there, as the Blood Mage could easily start giving that Mountain King a bit more mana. All right, Scroll of Town Portal looks like it is going to be ready to go in time. Destroyer currently just waiting for the rest of the units to show up to the party. There is an Obsidian statue ready for absorb mana, and a big Frost Nova comes in. All right, one peasant already down, a second peasant now down. Units are now ready to go. What is this? It looks as though Hawk is just willing to trade bases. He goes, you know what? I have 2 bases. You have 1. I will gladly trade my expansion for your base. And let's see if you have an easy way of heading back home. And without, no, the Scroll of Town Portal is there. He just decided not to use it. One Obsidian statue being left behind here, and that is going to be a huge loss. There goes an Obsidian statue, as Cechi not paying attention at all, losing one of the main items or main units that he needs to stick around. Scroll of Town Portal heading back off to the north already, and all of this is just buying time for workshops, triple workshops for flying machines, as we're now looking at perhaps is the Blood Mage going to pick up Gloves of Haste? No, he is not. A Mountain King could pick up another set of gloves if he really, really wanted to. All right, here we go. There's the big attack here. The Destroyer getting in some damage, finishing off the Forest Troll Berserker. Blood Mage now in serious trouble. Footman in a serious runaway, as the Death Knight is it going to be able to death coil off the target? No, it is not. Almost gets it down there, as the Obsidian statue now going to try and put pressure on the main base here. Workshops are all very much exposed, but the Mountain King and the Blood Mage seem to not care. He is just going to allow the army to do damage to the buildings, knowing that the Crypt Fiends and the Destroyers with their magic damage is not going to get past the fortified armor on those buildings. Meanwhile, the Mountain King and Blood Mage seem content to try and clear things out off over here. The Blood Mage is currently seen at level 2. Mountain King almost level 5 now, and at level 5, Mountain King with a level 2 Blood Mage can one-shot a Crypt Fiend. And that is just going to be one of the just devastating effects right there. Mountain King, Stormbolt, Blood Mage, Banish, Dead Crypt Fiend. Rinse and repeat until you have no more Crypt Fiends out on the field, and that is going to be the big issue again. All right, Footman, it does have Defend. It is trying to finish off one of these Nerubian towers. Meanwhile, Mountain King moving very quickly after a meat wagon. It looks like the meat wagon. Oh, Mountain King now sitting at level 5. Not quite sure what it finished off a handful of units off over here. Is the Mountain King going to be able to get into position? That is going to be the big question, as the Mountain King storm bolts down another Acolyte, and now is going to just teleport away. All right, very strong harassment, 53 over 60 compared to 52 over 78. It looks as though only one siege engine being trained at this time. But the army composition is not going to be very good at dealing with these siege engines. You can see 3 siege engines with one or a flying machine, and now being added to stay exactly at 50 supply. Once this workshop is done, I'm assuming that Hawk is going to start training triple up on 3 workshops, trying to explode into about 60 supply as quickly as possible, maybe even trying to train up some Griffins or some Dragonhawk Riders to get into that mid-60s when the time comes. He is harvesting more than double the amount of gold than his opponent right now, triple the amount of gold, as we see the units could be going into an engagement. Siege Engine does not have the anti-air attack as of yet. A little bit of damage coming in. Skeletal Minion's going to end up falling down right there. There is a Blood Mage. Oh, Staff of Sanctuary saves the Blood Mage, already teleporting all the way back home. That Blood Mage going to be regenerating a lot of hit points. Should be fine and dandy for a little while longer. Meanwhile, the Militia now looking to pull back here. All right, who placed that down? That would be Cechi with that ward right there, keeping track of another expansion, making sure that he does not fall behind even further. Meanwhile, Siege Engines now upgraded 2-1 upgrades. We are sitting at 50/78 with 1,400 gold in the bank. That is a large amount of gold, and I am assuming we are going to be training up. There is the hammers right there. We are going into another Griffin Aviary, so we could be training up anywhere from 9 to 17 supply pretty much instantaneously, as we are now looking at the Blood Mage, who is currently trapped. All right, only 2 creep camps are left on the map here. Blood Mage was able to maneuver back around. Blood Mage still sitting at level 2. Mountain King, Paladin, Blood Mage still looking to wander around here, and if they're able to focus down a target or two, that is going to be a very big deal. All right, it looked as though, it burrowed in time. There is a Holy Light to save it, as there goes Crypt Fiend right there. So yeah, that was a Banish Bolt right there. Siege Engine may end up getting away. Are we going to see a Staff of Sanctuary? Yes, we are, as we are still looking at more fighting to be had. All right, there is a reveal. Are we going to see, there is another Bolt right there, and you can see that Mountain King really being a one-man wrecking crew as the Siege Engines walking into the Undead base. Ghouls coming into target. All right, is the Black Citadel going to get focused down? You can see a Meat Wagon is in position. Massive number of units are trying to defend right here. Mountain King going to be bringing up the rear with the Blood Mage right there. As you can see, high damage already coming in. All right, Stormbolt, there goes a Ghoul. Are the ghouls going to fall fast enough? That is going to be the big question. 1 siege engine, or 2 siege engines over there. Black Citadel now taken down. And that is going to be a big deal indeed, as we see the destroyers going after a siege engine and another siege engine there. Death Knight now very close to level 5. Mountain King could try and finish off this unit here. Siphon mana away. Staff of Sanctuary, Blood Mage, or Mountain King does have a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability, decides to just use the Scroll of Town Portal and head back home. Paladin heading back home as well. Blood Mage now ready. Once more, Mountain King, where is he? Mountain King off to the north, getting healed or getting more mana, does not have a Scroll of Regeneration as of yet. However, Paladin with Holy Light able to do a good job there. Meanwhile, let's take a look at the Blood Mage. Blood Mage needs mana and lots of it in order to give it back to that Mountain King. We're still sitting at under upkeep right now. No upkeep at all compared to no upkeep at all. We are looking at 2 bases, and we are now trying to rebuild that necropolis. Why do you need to rebuild that necropolis? Well, acolytes only can be trained from there, and you want to make sure you have an option to train, as this is rather exposed. All right, let's take a look down over here. We do have a Temple of the Damned. Not quite sure what that's going to be used for here. Blood Mage once more getting Staff of Sanctuary all the way back home. Destroyer now in a little bit of a situation. As we can see, more guard towers are being constructed. Holy Light right there, as all of these towers will most likely just get canceled. All right, canceling of tower number 1, 2, and 3. All of them are going to end up falling, as the Mountain King and Paladin head back over here to the top right. Blood Mage healing back up with that Staff of Sanctuary should be able to join back in. Another round of siege engines quickly come inside here to destroy everything in sight. All right, Mountain King is in position. Stormbolt takes down a ghoul. Necropolis looks like it could get taken down. Siege engines desperately trying to run away. Are they going to be able to deal enough damage as the Necropolis gets taken out once more? All right, Siege engine in a very dangerous spot right now. There goes another Necropolis. Paladin getting in another bit of healing, as you can see the Nerubian Tower is getting trying to get upgraded, and it looks like it will finish in time. 1 siege engine is left, as the acolytes are just doing some massive repairs. Back off to the north, Obsidian Statue trying to finish off this peasant. Yes, trying to finish off this peasant. It looks like it will be able to do exactly that. Blood Mage comes in, as able to siphon mana away from the Dark Ranger. However, the Paladin falls at level 1, as a Staff of Sanctuary brings him home. All right, Mountain King still looking all right. Is it going to be able to escape? There is a Stormbolt there. Is it going to scroll a Town Portal? Yes, it will. And it is going to Town Portal all the way back to the Town Hall here. Heal back up. Get clarity as well, and buy another Scroll of Town Portal, and just buying these hit and run tactics with all of this additional gold. More siege engines are lying in wait. They are fully upgraded, 3 upgrades, ready to move forward and deal damage, taking down this base. If all the buildings of the Undead are taken out, yes, the Undead does not have a base to stand on. Even if he has an army, he will have to give the GG. Siege engines taking a very roundabout way this time around to try and hit up some of these key buildings. All right, you can see that there is one acolyte who was taken out, so gold is a little bit harder to come by, dropped by, what, 20%, as the siege engine now trying to slip away. Will it be able to get away? That is the big question right here, right now. Siege engine at, what, negative, or losing a bit of armor, and that is the main reason why the siege engine can actually get focused down here. Why is it turning back around? This doesn't make any sense. It is just going to give more experience to the Death Knight, and the Death Knight may actually get to level 6. All right, Death Knight getting very close to level 6. Lich at 4. Dark Ranger sitting at 3. All the units, knights, siege engines are in position. There is going to be a total of 5 siege engines, 1 knight, and 1 griffin, as well as the units are just going to be running in right here, right now. All right, siphon mana, not enough to really pull anything away from that Lich. Siege engines are just rolling forward to try and take down bases. You can see the obsidian statues are getting a bit focused down. There's a bit of web, and are we going to get a Stormbolt onto there? No, what was that? That was a Staff of Sanctuary, but onto the Blood Mage, I believe, as the Paladin is now in serious trouble. Oh, Divine, no, Potion of Lesser Invulnerability, as we now see the Dark Ranger now in serious trouble. Is it going to get taken out? Death Knight unable to Death Coil it, as we now see the Goblin Shredder going to get taken out. And there goes the Paladin, level 3 Dark Ranger, level 1 Paladin, as the Mountain King still going after all of those targets. Mountain King sitting at level 5, almost level 6. Siege Engine just walking into the base here and attempting to take down the Haunted Gold Mine. The Haunted Gold Mine is in serious trouble. All right, Siege Engines, what's happening here? Oh, that one unit, that one meat wagon actually made room for the Siege Engine to get into position, and the Haunted Gold Mine could get taken out. Gold very limited now, down to 18 gold. No gold to re-haunt the gold mine, and every building will be lost pretty much, as these siege engines are pretty much going to go unchallenged here. All right, Potion of Lesser Invulnerability used here. Knights fighting back and forth. Mountain King sitting at level 6. Blood Mage siphoning mana away, as the Death Knight using a Potion of Invulnerability himself. All right, Mountain King unable to finish off. Oh, there's a little bit of siphon mana. Stormbolt could be coming in, and it is just a little bit late, as the Death Coil does come in as well. All right, is the Potion of Lesser... Oh, banishes himself, but takes more damage from the Destroyers, as that is going to be it. Cechi loses the Hawk in 2 straight games. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.